Throughout my life, there is one thing that I have learned, which my previous failures and even my current slip-ups have irritated me to the point of distraction. It's through making this mistake time and time again that I have come to learn that persistence is key. There have been countless times in which I've given up on a pursuit or decided that I stood to gain more and that I probably would gain more if I moved or changed to a different pursuit. However, most of the time I failed or missed out on a chance, opportunity, enjoyable or amusing event that had occurred in the place I had so recently vacated, often right after I left. There are many stories I can tell you to prove this point, but one in particular comes to mind. Perhaps some of you recall in my introduction speech, but I'm a goalkeeper. I play soccer for my school team and I train in a separate program from school. But there was a time where I almost gave up on keeping and on soccer altogether, which would have been a big mistake. I was going through a rough stage, having some form difficulties, not being able to play even close to well, or decently for that matter, hurting myself and just generally making a mess of things. I felt like quitting. I contemplated it. I almost did it too. But as we all know by now, I didn't. I stayed at it and I kept playing. And now I'm captain of my school team. I've gotten much better and I love the game as much as anyone. If I had quit, I would have missed out on all the joy that soccer has brought me over the last few years, as well as the lessons of knowledge that I've gained, which have affected me on as much as it has off the pitch. So now you know an example that has shown me why persistence is key and what persistence has brought to my life. But now I will tell you some of the mistakes I've made where I wasn't persistent and tried to change or move to reap the rewards and missed out on opportunities in the place I recently vacated. Now it doesn't have to be big things. Often it's simple things, little things. Like for example playing cricket. When I leave the position I was fielding in to go somewhere else where the catches were flying thick and plenty, and then a perfect catch goes to the place that I had just left. Another example, when I decided not to go to a sports tournament for the first time because I didn't feel like playing and I just didn't like the idea, it turned out to be the most enjoyable, successful, competitive one so far. When I left one of my schools in Australia, as soon as I left, all the funny and interesting things started to happen. Prank emails to the teacher, general pranking, jokes, etc. The time when I was watching my coach play soccer in a remarkably boring match, and in the 5 minutes that I stopped looking, he makes an incredible save, which was what I was there to see. Even beyond these examples, in day-to-day life I've seen time and time again that it is best to stay persistent and not give up on any pursuit without a very good reason. This sentiment has manifested itself in all manner of forms and magnitudes, from missing out on a piece of what was the tastiest pizza to losing a chance at a trophy or a diploma. So after hearing my personal experiences and seeing how I have learned to be persistent and stick at it in everything I do, I hope you've learned a little bit more and will be able to make similar observations, judgments, and decisions in your own lives.